Okay, let's be real for a second. Your manager style, it can totally make or break your career, right? Especially when you're just starting out. So today, we're going to dive into one of the trickiest styles you'll probably run into, the laissez-faire leader.
I mean, it all starts with this idea. Freedom at work. It sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? No one breathing down your neck, you've got total trust to just get the job done. But here's the thing. That dream of autonomy can turn into a nightmare really fast, leaving you feeling kind of lost and unsupported. So let's get into why that happens.
All right, here's the plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about why that freedom isn't always free. Then we'll define what laissez-faire actually is. We'll even help you figure out if this is your manager's style. After that, we'll cover the big challenges, give you a solid survival guide, and wrap up with the surprising career boost you can get from all this.
So, workplace autonomy. That's kind of the holy grail, isn't it? I mean, who doesn't want the freedom to manage their own time and their own projects? But, and this is a big but, when you're early in your career, all that open space can feel less like a gift and, well, more like a pop quiz you weren't ready for.
And that brings us right to the leadership style that is all about this kind of freedom, laissez-faire. You know, the name itself is French, and it literally means let them do. And honestly, that pretty much sums up the whole philosophy.
So what it really boils down to is this. Laissez-faire leadership means a super hands-off approach. We're talking minimal direct supervision. These managers trust their teams to figure it all out on their own. They'll give you the resources, sure, but the day-to-day guidance, not so much.
So let's break down the DNA of this style, right? The main traits are pretty simple. They're hands-off, and it's all based on trust. And the core values that drive everything? Independence and autonomy. That's the whole game.
Okay, so now that we know what it is, let's make this a little more personal. It's time for a quick self-check, because I bet some of these things might be sounding a little familiar.
So really think about this for a second. Are you working under a laissez-faire leader? Does your day-to-day feel less like a guided path and more like you've been dropped in a giant open field? Let's see if we can figure that out for sure.
All right, here's a quick checklist for you. Your manager might be laissez-faire if you hear things like, you handle it, all the time. Or if formal check-ins are basically a myth in your department. And here's the big one. You get the most praise when you solve a huge problem all by yourself, without ever asking for help.
Okay, so maybe you're nodding along right now. You've identified the style. So now, let's talk about the real challenge here. See, this hands-off thing isn't just good or bad on its own. It really depends on who's on the receiving end of it. Think about it like this. For a team of seasoned pros, this style is absolute paradise, right? They get to innovate, direct their own projects, and just do their thing without anyone getting in the way. But for someone new, it can be totally paralyzing. You're just left feeling lost, you're not sure what the priorities are, and you're just struggling without any clear direction.
But hey, feeling lost doesn't have to be the end of the story. If this sounds like your situation, you absolutely have the power to change things. So let's get into the survival guide. Let's talk about how you can take back control. Okay, this is your new game plan. Here's what you need to do. You have to become your own project manager. That means you plan your own tasks, you set your own timelines, and this is critical. You proactively report your own progress. You're the one sending that quick weekly update email. You're the one scheduling that 15-minute check-in. Now here's what to avoid. Do not just sit around waiting for instructions. And please, never ever assume that no news is good news. It usually isn't. Let's just boil this down to 3 really simple, powerful steps. Number 1, take ownership. Act like you're the project lead on every single thing you do. Number 2, define your own structure. If you're not given a plan, well, you're gonna have to create one for yourself. And number 3, update proactively. This is what we call managing up. You get to control the story by giving clear updates before anyone even has to ask.
All right, now this is where we flip the whole script. Because surviving this kind of environment isn't just about, surviving. It's actually about building a skill that's going to be a huge career advantage for you later on. And here it is, the ultimate payoff. Because you're forced to self-plan, self-report, and self-motivate, you end up developing this incredible career asset, an ownership mindset. You literally become the kind of person who doesn't need a manager. You lead your own work, and trust me, that is absolutely invaluable.
So this kind of brings us full circle, back to where we started, but now we see it differently, right? That freedom your laissez-faire boss offers, it's only really valuable if you match it with an equal amount of your own personal responsibility. So what's the big takeaway from all this? The real truth for anyone just starting out is this simple formula. Your success comes down to your ability to adapt plus your ability to deliver results. If you can master that combo, you're going to thrive no matter where you work.